Welcome to NASPA Tonight. I'm your host, Josh Greenway. This is the weekly show where we talk about all things Scrabble. Thanks very much for joining tonight. I see people signing on, some immediately leaving as soon as they see what it is, but thank you very much for sticking around. We've got a packed show tonight. We've got a very special guest. We've got some surprises. We're going to talk all about the Memorial Day weekend tournaments. But first, we're going to do a little bit of business here. So the number one thing that I want to talk about is there are 3 days left to register for the NASC in Reno, Nevada. These are exciting times. We are approaching, in 3 days, the price goes up by $50. So most people who are planning to go in will be registering between now and that date, the 31st. We've seen 30 signups over the last week, something like that. And we'll see how many more are to come. We're sitting at 218. Last week we were tracking a little bit ahead of the last Reno tournament. I actually don't know where we're tracking as of today specifically, but really what counts is that May 31st date. So if you're on the fence, you should come to Reno. It's going to be a fun time. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about, NASPA related, is the AB elections. So we're coming up to AB election season. There are 3 seats being contested, and there are 2 candidates so far. So if you know someone that you think would be good to represent players on the NASPA advisory board, trust me, it makes a difference. These are people who are able to talk with John, Chris, and Rich, the executive committee, directly. They're able to influence what we do at NASPA. They're able to get support for their ideas. I'm living proof of that. So if that's something you think you can contribute to, NASPA getting better, now is the time. I think the nominations, actually, I don't know the dates. The nomination process, I think, is open until the end of the month, but I'm not sure. Hi, Doris. Okay, so that is NASPA business taken care of. I want to introduce my guest for this evening. Let me find, hold on one sec. There we go. Here he is, the one, the only Josh Jr. Sokol. Josh, how are you?
Oh, are we live?
We are live. Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Oh
Josh is a 2,000 level player. I think that's fair to say. You spent most of the last year over 2,000, just slightly underneath right now. Josh has also recently taken on more Scrabble commentary and was a key part of the team that broadcast the National School Scrabble Championships. And what else do we have to say about you? You're also the host with the most. This last weekend, you had a hometown tournament, and you had a whole bunch of players stay in your apartment. Is that right?
It ended up only being 2, but that is a whole bunch for a studio apartment, I think.
Wow. Damn. So, how are you? Roger says hi,
I'm
Josh.
Good, I'm good. Hello, Roger. You, only one of you, unfortunately. So I can't throw that back at you.
That's right. Where are all the other Rogers in Scrabble?
Or Colemans. Where are the Colemans?
Okay. Oh, and the other headline is your Jackson's BFF, right? That would be your other credit. Is that fair to say?
Is that a credit, or is that like a?
I think so.
Is that like a source of gossip?
Oh yeah, no, that's fair.
I think
Okay, so
double-edged sword.
Here's what we're talking about tonight. We're going to get right into it. Like I said, we have a packed show. If you're watching right now and you guys are interested, it's funny. I bring up Jackson now. We're going to get a bit of an update from Jackson from out in the field, but not right now. We're going to wait.
Hi, Pierre.
We're going to
Bonjour,
wait.
Pierre. Sorry.
Yeah, you're going to Shediac again this year?
No, don't get sidetracked. I'm just saying. I'm just responding to the comment. We're gonna see Jackson, right? My BFF. It's very important.
That's right. So once we do the Memorial Day tournament, summaries or analysis, whatever you want to call it, then we will get to see an update from Jackson's summertime adventure. And then we're going to go into
He didn't even tell me about this, Josh.
Oh my
so maybe he's your BFF.
I find that hard to believe. I don't know if you heard, but he left the show. So then we're going to go into something completely new, and that's going to be we're going to pick your brain, Josh. You're this, Scrabble expert. You're going to be competing for the North American Scrabble Championship this summer. So, look, if the only thing I get out of doing this show is getting a little bit better at Scrabble, that would be good. So we're gonna play with that. So if you want to hear tips on how to play better Scrabble, stay till the end. We're trying a new feature.
I think I'm more excited about this than you are, Josh. I think this
believe
is
me.
This is
believe
like
me.
my
I'm very
favorite thing.
excited. I
love discussing strategy.
Okay, so we're going to get into Memorial Day weekend tournament results. All right, I didn't think about how this graphic would look with us covering up Montreal and New York, but that's what we're looking at right now. So
we're the East Coast people, like we cover all of that. We got it.
The first thing we're going to talk about is Atlanta. Okay, so Atlanta. The headline here is obviously Avery Mojica's 19-0.
It's not a typo of any sort. This young man completely decimated Atlanta, even with the highest rated player in NASPA having to play him, I think, 4 or 5 times. Something crazy.
I think it was actually 3 times, but still, taking down David Gibson 3 times in the same tournament is pretty incredible. And you know what? I've got a surprise for you, Josh. Look at this.
I'm not.
Here's Avery.
I'm so surprised. Oh my god!
I know, right?
Avery, did it work? Does he believe that I didn't know that this was happening?
I accidentally told him about 10 minutes ago, so I think
that's all right. That's all right.
Wait, no, Avery.
I gotta work.
You finally have a guest with poorer lighting than myself.
Well, I'm at a friend's house, and I just got to deal with what I got. I don't have Wi-Fi because
that's right.
I was actually just in a tornado warning about 10 minutes ago, so staying safe.
Crazy, for sure. All right, so that's something we're going to work on. We're going to have Avery on another show, but he's dropping in tonight because of this amazing performance. And I want to show one thing to everybody. Let's bring this up here. Oh, I think we'll do.
Be ready, Avery.
I have no idea what this is. He didn't tell me.
That's right. So everyone will still be able to hear us, but we'll be able to go full screen with this. Ooh. Here it is, 39 games in a row. Those are the 39 wins, which, listen, if somebody set out, like let's say, we all know Jackson sometimes selectively picks tournaments, but some people could go out and try to achieve this by picking the right tournaments. But when you look at this, there's no question, like if you look at Oklahoma, I mean, you're playing 1800s, 1900s, all that stuff. Like you're a 2000 rated player, which is awesome, obviously. But when you play again and again against 1800 plus players, you're going to drop games. I mean, hell,
you're going to lose.
Josh Jr. drops games to me on occasion. So that'll tell you about variance, right? Is that true, Josh?
That would tell you about variance. And this is the amazing thing is that this is basically clear proof to me that the idea of variance in Scrabble is completely and utterly outweighed by our human ability to just completely outplay our opponents. It's like, even if like Avery is gonna say, "Oh, I got lucky," whatever. But like, to be able to do this, you have to get more than lucky. Like, there's no way to just win games like this.
Well, then
you have to
hold on. We
have
better
some
ask.
element of just completely maybe intimidating your opponents. I don't know if Avery's a very intimidating player.
I mean, as a 20-year-old,
there's
some people
something.
find it intimidating, but I think around where I am, I think a lot of people just have kind of accepted me as one of their own, really, and have kind of looked past age. Because a lot of these people have known me since I was like 12, and I was playing way back when. But if you also look, like, there's not a whole lot of 1900s, a lot of like 1600s, which I think is a big difference.
Still, no. Still, you should.
Well, it
you should
depends
lose
on
to those
which
people at
tournament-
some point.
It depends on which tournament we're talking about. If we're talking about that first one, it looked like a lot of 18 and 1900s.
Well, I played the higher rated seeds at the end of Oklahoma, that is right.
Yeah. Well, even off the beginning as well. But there are a few sprinkled in there for sure. And I just want to clarify, Josh, you're saying there has to be something above and beyond just skill and stuff like that. You're not making an accusation here that
No. So what I'm saying is this. I as a Scrabble player believe that you can win every game. And nobody believes that. Absolutely nobody believes that.
Even I
Nigel
don't
Richards
believe
doesn't
that.
believe that. But to me, anything that goes and basically feeds into that crazy idea of mine is just glorious, you know?
Right. Well, there you go. In bad
So
lighting,
thank you, Avery.
there he sits in living proof. All right. Now
This
let's
is
go.
about me and my like ideals, okay? This is about me.
So let's go into the results here a little bit. So, because that's what we want to do is break down the results, right? So 19-0 plus 18-22. I think we've seen a lot of lines out of Avery where
Can I just point out
go please.
the 0 spread bringing Julia Bogle to 1600? Shout out to Julia Bogle.
Oh, for sure.
0 spread.
Yeah.
Finally reached 1600. Congratulations. And then you go all the way down to Mark Schmidt, who has +1. I love that sort of thing. Sorry, keep going.
Right? Yeah. No, absolutely. I always like to tell the story about.
Also notice
wait,
Marlene
look at
Milkent had
Marlene.
plus 1081.
Whoa!
She had a 400-point win in one round, I think.
Oh my god. Marlene is such a badass.
I love her. We had a really good game. It was always nice talking to her.
I went 11-11 plus 1100 once, but I think that's more impressive. 9 and 10 plus 1081. That's definitely more impressive than that.
I always like to tell the story of the last nationals I played where I went 19 and a half, 11 and a half, something like that, with a negative spread. But that's not shocking for me. If I win, I win them close. Otherwise, I get blown out.
This is amazing.
Sean
Just
Abbasi,
look at these numbers.
for sure. Sean Abbasi says, "Can it just be variance upwards?" Right?
It
He
can.
says no.
If
Evan
you're-
Borowski says it's magic.
That's true. So
Listen,
maybe that's
listen.
more accurate.
It can be variance upwards, yes, and that's definitely what everyone else believes. But listen, this is next level stuff. This is metagame.
Okay, let's keep taking a look because we also had other winners out of Atlanta. So let's quickly cover those. Obviously, the only other thing to say here is David Gibson, 14 and 5. 5 games off the pace. That's tough.
Okay,
let's say about that.
He did very well. He's gracious as always.
No, I mean, I don't know how you could say anything else for sure. I mean, I still think his acceptance speech at his last national championship is one of the best speeches I think I've seen by anybody in any context.
I cried.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I cried.
Okay,
to be there.
So we had Tracy Roman coming in the second division with a
10th seed. Nice job.
Exactly. Coming in way above seed, so that is nice work. Well, look at the seeds up at the top.
Just look at the second place person having negative spread, though.
Oh, wow. Yeah, some tournament, man, like 19 games just creates some weird stuff.
For sure. 10, 5, 18, 12, 19. Those are the seeds in the top 5. That's pretty wild. Okay,
And
let's
congrats
go
to Jacqueline.
Jacqueline,
Nice job.
14-4. Of course, Division 3 getting the buys. That's nothing
Unfair.
new. Unfair, exactly. And Julia Scruggs coming in second place there on about 70 or 80 points of spread. Okay, so that is Atlanta. We got to keep it moving here, boys. So let's move on to, let's go to Chicago. Now, how am I going to do this? We'll go like this.
Roger asks.
What
Go
does
ahead,
Roger
Josh,
ask?
but Roger asks, Avery, what is your secret? Avery, do not answer that. Plead the fifth.
Do not.
Plead
you're,
the fifth.
You're saying do not tell Roger specifically.
No.
I didn't
Right,
know if I
no,
should
no.
interject or something.
Anybody but Roger. Just kidding, Roger.
Let's move on to Chicago. You guys should still be able to hear me.
Oh.
We got a nice winner's shot. Look at them with their trophies and all that stuff.
That's a nice graphic, Josh.
Oh, thank you. Now, I don't know what happened, whether David Koenig had to grab a plane, but he just wasn't in the picture, so I had to use a different picture.
That's
to
a
cover
restaurant,
comments.
Josh. That's a restaurant.
Okay.
Congrats. Yes.
Yes, so
Charles
congrats
Ranke
all
wins.
around. I think
Proud of
we
Steve
should.
Hartzman.
I think we should go to. Let me pull up the results from this one. This is Elmhurst. So
I think did Charles hit a new peak rating or something?
Let's take a
I
look.
think so.
I think so.
All right, where am I supposed to? Okay,
yeah,
here we go.
Steve Hartzman. Yeah, Steve Hartzman destroyed. Nice job,
Yeah,
Steve.
so
I
this
saw
has
him
got to
post all of
be.
his games.
Is that a new? Has Charles been over
Yes.
2,000 before?
He has,
he
but this
has.
is a new peak according to his
Yeah,
page.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
So nice work.
And look at that
16 and 4.
domination.
Absolutely. Plus
6
13,
wins ahead
53.
of Thomas. Oh my God.
I know that's got to be tough on the drive home, right? I assume they drive together.
It's not
His
tough.
fourth Arden Cup trophy, I think.
I think they're. I
Wow.
think Thomas is fine. He's saving it for nationals, right? They're signed up. I hope.
Yes, they are.
I hope so. Yeah. So then we've got Division 2. We've got Steve Hartzman, who I believe said on his Facebook it was his first tournament win in 5 years after there being
Awesome.
a break in there. So nice work by Steve, taking out the number 1 seed, Jason Weisberg, and some other tough competition
Jason
there.
will have his time. Oh yes.
Jason's up and coming. He's going to be
I
winning more
agree.
tournaments as I think time goes.
I agree. Okay, Division 3, since it's on the screen there as well, Susan Blanchard, who I love Susan Blanchard, came in, wins the division by 2 games out of the number 3
Beautiful.
seed. And let me scroll down to, we got another division, number 4, Leland Moore, who has no Facebook account. So I'm glad he was included in the
no.
winner picture because...
How could you even include that person, Josh? They don't even have Facebook.
So he takes it down in a very close finish, or
Yeah,
what looks
wow.
like a close finish. Who knows what that last game was like for it to come out 170 points spread. But wins
lots
it
of,
with 14 wins.
Lots of place names in these terms. I saw some guy last name Ireland, Florida Jones. Really nice names. Love them.
Now, look at this over in Collins.
This is
amazing.
insane. Do you see that? Like,
Actually,
was
I actually haven't
joking.
looked at that yet.
yeah, I was joking around at my tournament about how, like, well, unfortunately, Mark Pistolizzi was like 1-7, and I was like, well, you still win if everyone goes 7-7. It's possible, and then here we are. It's almost everyone almost went 10-10. Wow,
Absolutely.
really, really tight field there.
Okay, let's move on. Let's head northeast to Montreal.
Oh, that's
Josh?
quite northeast.
What's that?
That's very northeast.
Yeah.
I thought you were going a bit less.
No, I'm trying to think of where
North.
Chicago is exactly, but anyway.
It's northeast,
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Okay.
Everything's northeast to the Midwest guy. Except
He's not
Atlanta,
wrong.
I guess.
Okay,
All right.
before we break down the results, why don't you just tell us about the Montreal tournament? This was the 38th year, I believe, which is a pretty
Yes.
incredible run. What can you tell us about that tournament as the honorary? Listen, I know the tournament had organizers and directors or whatever, but I feel like you're the toast of the town, the honorary representative of Scrabble from Montreal. So give us your opinion of the tournament.
I guess I'll disregard that comment because I have to be humble or something, right? I don't actually. Okay, I get. Yeah, I'm an honorary, whatever you said. The Montreal tournament is an amazing tournament. It only happens once a year, and just like New Year's Eve, only once a year. It's short. It's only 2 days, and it's quite laid back, really. Sari and Bernard do a great job of keeping everything very nice and familial. There's a potluck lunch on Sunday, but there are also refreshments and food provided throughout the whole tournament. And it's just a great place to be. You get to eat poutine. Like, who doesn't want to do that? I recommend it to anybody, despite there being like tournaments everywhere on Memorial Day weekend.
For sure.
It was a lot of fun.
I've been to Montreal twice, and I can vouch that it is a lot of fun, and I'm sure I will go there again. Okay, let's get into the results here. So, Division 1, Josh, you didn't win. What happened? Break it down for us.
I missed a relatively easy play in game 2 and lost that game. I missed a triple in game 3, and then I lost to Mac twice out of 4, which is basically all I could ask for, is to like break even with Mac, who's just a phenom. He played 7 9-letter words and 7 9-letter words in 14 games.
Wow.
It's like, I played a 9-letter word, but it wasn't a real word. It's like, that's just the difference. But
Avery, have you ever played Mac? What's your feel, or what's your reading of Mac?
I have a 2-1 record against Mac in tournaments, I think, and then I've played him many times on ISC. We actually have a small informal league where we play 1-minute games, and he decimates me almost every time.
Yeah.
Do we know if Mac is playing nationals?
He's not.
He is not.
Okay. So same as last year, maybe for different reasons, but yeah, so not playing.
So am I supposed to show this thing to you people?
Yeah,
I had one highlight.
Yeah, I think now is the time to go into that. So let me get a screen going. You can go ahead and switch to it, and I'll get myself and Avery set up here. Okay. Do you remember how to switch it there?
Yeah, it's not showing it. Hold on. Let's see.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're frozen.
Let's go back to see. It only has Zizova here. Okay, maybe we could forget about it. It wasn't.
We'll give you a second because you were gonna show a
do you see me now?
Play, right? Yeah, we see you. It's all working. So why don't you give it one more try?
Okay. I'll try to share
Jeffrey's
my entire screen. Oh.
Okay. Switch over. Here. There we go. Okay.
This happens all the time on live streams, right?
Yeah. So let me get Avery and I out of the way here.
Okay.
Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll keep Avery on the screen and get rid of me. Okay, there we go.
Oh, disgusting.
So
yeah, let's talk. What are we looking at?
This is round 4. I'm playing Ross, who I have an incredible record against, like 21-6 or something. And I just he doesn't open the board, it seems, so I just leave the board as it is and keep my big, like 80, 90 point lead. And I'm just playing really, really dinky plays. And I'm just trying to see, okay, how can I lose this game? This is really, really unlikely I'll lose, but I'm going to try to maximize my winning percentage. And earlier in the game, I was like, I think I should block all the possible like 9-letter words or bingos on the left side of the board. And then I looked at the right side and like, maybe something really cool will happen. So here's my rack. and I decided to just drop the M. Normally, you play Vim, you block like all the 9-letter words here that he could have and possibly win the game. But I played this move. It might not be very winning, but I played it, and then Ross played this move, and here was my rack, and here it goes. I played an 11-letter word.
Oh, damn!
So I drew one of the last I's and hit it. Boom,
Wow.
90 points.
Wow.
That is tough if you're in Ross's shoes and somebody lays down an 11. That is...
Damn. Nice job.
That's some rough business there. Nice work.
All right.
All right.
So
very
now I should be back.
good. Okay, let's go back. Let me get the screen set up the way we had it before. And here we go. Okay, so we got the story already of Mac taking down the division. Josh, you came in second, and Jason Lee, who you predicted was going to win last week, came in third, and Ross comes in fourth. And Jack
Reverse
Peters came up
psychology,
there.
right? Reverse
Sure.
psychology.
So Jack Peters came up there and picked up 9 rating points, so that's something.
Yeah, Jack. It was fun to see Jack. He doesn't play in a lot of multi-day tournaments. Pleasure to play with him and to interact with Jack. Great guy.
Who was staying in your studio apartment?
So it was Tim Weiss and Kevin Eng.
Okay.
Kevin was playing in the second division. As you can see, he did really well. You see his seed number and how he finished. Finished in 10th place. He was one of the lower seeds. And,
absolutely.
yeah.
Picking up,
He did quite well.
69 rating points, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But Judy Horn comes through and picks up the win. I got a little bit of a rundown over text from my buddy Andre, who I think hoped to do better. He obviously looks like he had the best spread in the field, but comes up a little bit short at 8 and 6. Trevor nipping him for a win there for a cash spot, and then we've got Bob and Bernard.
If you roll the dice, I'd say Andre would win 1 or 2 of the rolls. That's what I would say.
How many dice are we rolling? Just checking the odds.
There's six sides. He would win 1 or 2.
Okay,
that's my take.
Let's see.
Helen Beery.
Here we go.
Helen Beery and Aziz, clubmates of mine. Congratulations, they did really well. Helen just nonchalant, just beating everybody. So nice, so soft spoken. Congrats.
And Sylvia Polson coming in fourth with an 8 and 5 record. I love Sylvia mostly because she bought me dinner after a tournament one time. Me and Rod were out for dinner with Sylvia at a casino, and she picked up our bill, which was super nice of her. Okay, that's awesome. Montreal. We got one more to talk about.
There's the CSW, right? So
you're absolutely right.
And Tim also had the same record, but wasn't able to catch Bradley on spread.
Here we go. That should be coming up now. There you go. So Bradley, right. So Bradley has the spread, picks up the win over Tim. They fall into their seed.
But look at Noah Slatkoff.
Look at his rating.
Scrabble champion. 171 points in one 14-game tournament. Incredible.
That's amazing.
He beat Tim. I don't know if he beat Bradley at all, but he really stomped on the division.
Let's take a look. Where did he pick up his most points? So there's
beating
Tim.
Toby, it looks like.
Okay,
Tim twice.
He didn't beat Bradley.
Toby
he beat Tim twice. He's now 3-1 against Tim. Tim was not happy about that, that's for sure. But that's a crazy good record.
Took 2 or 3 off of Tim. Okay, let's move on to our last city here. Let me get this going here. A lot of switching. That's what happens when you get a special surprise guest. Okay, we've got New York City. This was also, I heard from one of the organizers, when you talk about New York City, talk about how you had, there was free breakfast, free snacks, and free Diet Coke. I don't know if that was because of my comments about how this was the
Only-
most expensive of the 4
Only a New
tournaments.
Yorker would be like, "Oh, free Diet Coke, it's so important." Amazing. No, you have to mention that, right? Because I did mention Montreal having all these free
That's right.
free food and
Exactly.
drink. New York did as well. Still not as good as the food that our club mates prepared, I'm sure.
No, listen, I'm sure you guys did a great job. The one thing about Montreal, I like it, but New York would be the same way, I would think. I like it when these multi-days are at hotel venues, because then everybody is there, like, afterwards.
Right.
But not all
Montreal,
tournaments
New York,
can
no.
be that way. Yeah, certainly
Right.
not in New York. That's never going to happen.
Hello,
Okay.
Chloe. Hello, Will Anderson. Welcome.
Oh, Will. Is Will
Will
playing
is here.
Nationals this year?
Yes,
yeah.
he signed up for Collins.
Oh, there you go. He must still be sitting on some of that TWL prize money. Okay, let's go into New York City results. We've got...
What an amazing finish for Cesar. I just wanted to mention, he was in first place, and then he lost like 3 games in a row, and I'm like, oh, classic Cesar, just choking his way. And then I saw that he won. I was like, what? I was so confused. But as you can see, Carl Higbee had a tie, and Joel and
Right.
Benji and David Tyke. That really must have played into that. Cesar winning by half a game.
Yeah, no, those ties are interesting for sure. For someone like me who's constantly has terrible spread, ties get you out of the spread game so they can be advantageous. But yeah, like in a case like this, I mean, look at that. You know, that's really a tournament being decided by like a point when you think about it. Because if Carl wins that game, then
Yep.
yeah,
And look
Okay.
at Ed Roth. Just kudos to him. Huge ratings gain.
for sure,
putting a
75
lot of
points
work.
a rating.
He earned it.
That's right. And he's been active over Facebook over the last day or two. So there's been some fun stuff there. So great job. Okay. Let's go on to Division 2. We've got...
Boom! Look at that. Woof. That is almost as good as 19-0, right? Right, Avery?
so, well, I'm looking at Division 2. I like how tight it is, right? Is that what you're referencing? Or are you looking at Division 3?
I'm looking at Division 2 and how not tight it is. Samuel beating
Looking at
No,
Division
no,
three.
that's
four
Division
Division
games.
3. That's Division 3.
Oh,
Division
I know, but I'm proud of
2
him.
goes to Jack Eichenbaum, narrowly taking down Paul Averin and Jay Levin.
excuse me.
It's all right. That's fine.
There's
Nice job.
There's something on my screen actually that I can't actually see.
Nice job by Jack. And absolutely frequent watcher, commenter, all that kind of stuff. Sam Kaplan, 15-1 plus 1293. Really
In Division
just
3.
killing it. Yeah, absolutely. And doing it out of the number 1 seed, which I am always kind of impressed by. Like it's one thing to come in as the number 1 seed; it's another thing to execute on it. So,
Yeah.
and especially to that degree, if it wasn't for young Avery here, we could say Sam may have had the best weekend of anybody. But anyway, great job by Sam, and certainly Sam, if you're watching. Or if you watch this later, if you want to come on NASPA Tonight sometime, I'd love to meet you because I don't think I've met you in person. Let's go over to Collins. Let's get this up here. And we have Jesse Day pulling off the close win over frequent guest Jason Keller. And what else do we see here? Puneet being in the mix there.
I
as
saw some
well.
amazing games that Jason Keller played. I didn't see any games from Jesse. I hope he'll post them. But Jason Keller, I saw a game where Big Hoop was played, and like crazy word, French word, awesome word. Anyways.
Gotcha. And that's something, Avery, do you post your games to Cross Tables?
It is now my goal after nationals to post every game I play. Yeah,
Okay. Do you look at other people's games?
I look at all of them, both Collins and TWL, and Josh looks at mine and tells me how bad my annotations are because they're usually pretty bad.
Bad or empty? Or is that the same
Just
thing?
bad and wrong because I quackled it while I was pretty tired and missed a lot of silly things that I should have noticed in my annotation. I got a lot to learn.
All right. Now, here's what we want to do, okay?
So
we
humble.
got a comment specifically asking about, and I'm sure they're not asking me. Jeffrey Spearson, I think that's how you say his name, I'm not sure, says, please share study habits and important word lists that you should go over daily. So we're going to get into this segment. We've got two other quick things to do following this deep dive on Memorial Day. But if you guys can give a little bit of a preview, because we're going to be picking your brain a little bit, what do you think are important study habits? I mean, we're in NASC season, so I think it's fair to talk about it that way. Are there any particular strategies that you guys have when it comes to studying in terms of either sort of daily rituals or prioritization for what you need to do? I know this can be highly personal, but
Avery,
any
you're
feedback?
much more equipped to answer this question.
Any feedback you have on that would be great.
Yeah, so last year for NASC, I was studying a lot more than I am now. School wasn't as hard as it was this semester, but I made it my own personal goal to have learned all the 2 through 8 letter words, which is a little bit higher than probably most people go for. I think I have a little bit more time on my hands though with summer and everything. So the biggest thing I did was I did aerolith every day, did all the daily challenges. I think that helps me with accuracy, speed. I think I personally do better when I manage my time for strategy. So I have a very strict threshold on solving. If I don't find something in 15 seconds, I put it in a list of things I need to review more.
Okay.
So then I put that into an Excel file, which I color code, and then I review from that. So I have a little system that works for me, and then once I've gotten through like 10,000 or something, I do a review of those, so that way I know I'm about as solid as I can be. And just if I hold myself to it, I try to do about 1,000 a day, if not more. And at this point, though, that's a little bit more feasible because I've gone through all of them. But if I was just starting, it'd probably be closer to like 250 or 500.
Gotcha.
So it's just a matter of pacing yourself, knowing your own personal limits, making sure you're not sacrificing what else needs to be done, like work, school, your family, stuff like that. So
there you go. A little bit of life balance advice thrown in at the end there. I like that. Josh, what's the key to if you only have a little bit of time to devote to studying, which I feel like may be the case with you, like taking a kind of a slacker's approach to studying. What's your best approach, the way to be most efficient?
Well, I recommend alienating yourself from all of your responsibilities. But in all honesty, the only thing that I do is I try to do aerolith every day,
Right.
the 3s to 9s. Those are the challenges I do. If I am able to do any more, that's great. But that's all I really can bargain for at the very moment, and most of the year, because I'm very, very poor at managing my time outside of work and other responsibilities. So aerolith is really fun. I hate studying as well, and aerolith I enjoy. So that's really what I would recommend anybody do. Nobody's looking at your results and being like, oh, wow, they didn't find all of the 3-letter words, 4-letter words, 5 letters. Go ahead on aerolith. Go do the challenges. That's what I recommend the most.
Okay. Thank you for that. Shout out to Jeffrey for asking that question. Here's what we're going to do now. We are going to watch an update from Jackson Smiley, who, as far as I'm concerned, is throwing away his chances at the North American Scrabble title to chase some adventure out in the forest. I think it's a terrible decision. But most people disagree with me. They think the life experience that he's going to gain out there in the wild with animals and insects and all that kind of stuff is somehow going to be beneficial. He actually talks about this in this clip. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to play the clip. I'm going to leave you guys on screen. The audience will not be able to hear you, okay? I'm like muting down your mics. But feel free to either A, listen in and react to whatever Jackson's saying. You can, give an eye roll or a face palm or whatever.
I'm already rolling my eyes.
Or you can just go get a drink, like whatever you want to do, all right? So that's what we're going to throw to now. And as soon as this is done, we're going to go to a new segment, which is picking these two great players' brains in a segment that we're calling Teach Josh to Play Scrabble, which is going to be fast-paced and hopefully information-packed. So here we go with the interview from long-lost Jackson Smiley.
Hello, NASPA Tonight fans. This is Jackson coming to you from about an hour out of Dryden, Ontario in the woods. You can see some woods behind me. You can see some tents in front of me. Mine's in there somewhere. So this is, so we've done about 13 days of planting so far. I don't know how many trees I've planted. I think something like 15,000 trees maybe. Mostly spruce, bit of pine. It's been pretty good. It's honestly a great experience to have no service for so long. It's really nice to be in the woods and just living in a tent. You just start to appreciate different things after a while. And I'm definitely missing Scrabble for sure. I'm trying to study for nationals, but it's obviously not going as well as it would if I wasn't planting trees all day. I've been using some flashcards during the drive to the block in the morning, and then occasionally at night I'll do some bingo study. I was hoping to do like 1,000 words a day going in, but obviously that is not happening. I've maybe studied a few thousand words the whole trip. But it's cool. Like it's definitely something to think about, where like part of the mental preparation for nationals, I think, is to just get in a state where you're accepting whatever's going to happen. And I think being out here is really good for that kind of mental preparation. Because even though I'm not playing any Scrabble at all and I'm barely studying, I just feel like my mind is still in the game somehow. And I think it'll be a really cool experience just to see what playing nationals is like after being gone for 2 months. So that's going to be really cool. The job itself was really interesting. I wasn't expecting tree planting to be so engaging, like mentally. I thought it would just be like physical labor, but it's really not. It's actually a lot of parallels to Scrabble, I'm finding. Just in terms of like how I'm approaching tree planting, I approach it in a similar way that I approach Scrabble, just because that's kind of how I approach everything. In tree planting, it's kind of like an optimization game, and a lot of people view Scrabble in the same way. Like in tree planting, you're not optimizing words and points like you are in Scrabble, but you're optimizing the speed with which you plant and also how well you plant. And you're kind of balancing those two variables always. You could plant as fast as you want, but if you plant terrible trees every single time, they're going to make you replant, and you don't get paid for that. Conversely, if you plant really, really good trees every time, you might be too slow. So you have to balance those two things. And even within that, there's so many different things to think about. Like I was expecting to be like on an open field, just planting as you might like a bed of lettuce or something, but no, like these are deforested lands. It's like huge expanse, like square kilometers of deforested land, and it's really rough. Like there's stumps everywhere, there's like fallen trees, there's twigs, and a huge difficulty is just finding a place to plant a tree. You have to space about 8 feet apart usually, and there's what you call a microsite is what you're looking for to plant a tree in, and it's really tough to like get really good at spotting these microsites. It's kind of like spotting a tough parallel play, you could say. But I find that's a real challenge, and also keeping track of your land, because you're given a huge plot of land and you have to plant it in a fairly organized fashion, but it's hard to do that when the land is so rough. And so I found it's a very challenging thing to be able to do like 20 things at once very quickly. It's very easy to plant one tree when you go through every step slowly, but when there's all these different steps, and even the planting technique itself is very difficult, to do all these things like 5 or 6 seconds every tree, very difficult. And you can see there's some vets here that are really, really good. They're planting like 4,000, 5,000 trees a day. It kind of feels like a rating system, kind of like in Scrabble. You definitely know who the ballers are and who the rookies are. So yeah, that's a quick update for how planting's going. It's really hard. It's hard on the body. Different parts of my body feel sore every single day. But overall, just a really, really positive thing.
And there we go. We are back. People will be able to hear you. I like that Ryan Fisher was like, Avery, Josh, you're on camera.
God.
Yeah, no, we set that up. We wanted to see those reactions. So there he is, not studying, wrecking himself. And
Can I show you guys something very relevant
please,
to this?
please.
This is a gift I've received from my
Aww.
my managers / owners.
Very
they went
nice.
to Joshua Tree National Park in California, and I can make my own mini Joshua Tree.
Sweet.
Oh my
Okay, so
God.
here's how this is going to work. We are playing Teach Josh to Play Scrabble. So what we're going to do is we are going to go into these games, and what we want are basically hot takes from you guys. All right, we don't need deep analysis here. We need more like approach. Okay, because obviously you guys know that I just don't know that many words. So probably the thing that would help me the most is like what I should be thinking about during these plays. And I can even tell you what I would play, and you can tell me why that's wrong.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. So let's go into it. We're going to go.
Let's do this like this. Avery, you can start. Give your analysis. I'll say I agree or disagree. Then we go to the next one. I'll say my analysis.
Sounds
you agree
good.
Or disagree.
Perfect.
Don't want to interrupt each other.
Let's go into the first game here. This is early on. There are 70 tiles in the bag, and I am up by 10. Obviously, I should be trying to figure out if there's a bingo here. I feel like Suaves would be good, but I could be wrong. What should I be thinking about here, Avery? No, it's no good, eh?
Yeah, Swaps isn't good. Suavist. Yeah,
I
it should
think this
be
is Go
bingo.
ahead, Avery.
Approach it bingo oriented, I guess. I mean, you have an S hook above KI. Can be a good bingo lane.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not easily blockable. So
I'm looking to optimize my rack. Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying I should be looking at these letters and trying to find... I've got 3 S's.
Did we lose Avery? I think we might have.
Uh-oh. Avery's still here. Okay, Avery, if you're listening, try to reconnect.
Okay.
We'll update here.
Look.
Avery, you can drop out and come back in. The same link should be good.
Josh, there's one play here. And
What's that?
It's just play Suave and Canas.
And, oh, really?
Yeah.
And I'm leaving is it an A or a U next to the triple?
You're leaving an A next to the triple.
But
you
the
can't
fact
do
that the
anything
next-
there. You can't. You can only play HM there. Like there's nothing else that can go there.
Right,
that scores
because
anything.
of that. because
Wait,
of that U.
wait. Typo.
A typo, yeah, you're right.
Do that. You're keeping 2 S's. Maybe you'll draw a bingo next turn. You score well. You don't open too much for your opponent.
Okay.
It's basically you get rid of your UV and you score, and you keep a very nice SS on your leaf.
All right,
That's your play.
perfect. Let's lock that in. Now, what we wanted to do here was interlace these plays with questions. So my question for you, Josh, is how old are you now, and how old were you when you played your first rated tournament?
Okay, I'm 25. I played my first rated tournament when I was 11? 10 or 11.
Wow, that's pretty young. Okay, let's go into this. Let's go into this next game. We're looking at an opening play here. I feel like noodled is almost on there, but that doesn't seem right.
Right.
I don't see a bingo here. So what's your approach at this point?
Keep well. Undouble your O, undouble your N. Score well, and don't give
What
too
about
much
like
back to
oh
your
no?
opponent.
What about like
Oh
oh
no,
no?
oh no under beg is what I see. I
Okay.
would play that if I would look for bingos for a bit, but I
Right,
don't
like
see
through
any.
the E or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Oh no,
Oh no,
bull.
oh no seems very
Yeah.
reasonable and it's
Okay.
very good play, I think.
Very good. Okay, we're gonna see Avery is still not back, but I think he's now trying to get back in. What was the
Keep it
scariest
going.
thing about playing a tournament at 10 years old?
Not. I don't know. It was just the rules were really scary. I was like, oh my God, I can't do anything wrong here. It was like I didn't know all these rules. I've just been playing at club casually. This is crazy. It was
Right.
very, very stressful.
Gotcha. Oh, Avery lost his electricity. Oh my God.
Oh jeez.
Oh
Okay,
well,
let's.
it's because he was coming in on a
The
laptop.
tornado. No, the tornado. Maybe.
Oh,
The
you think?
there could have been just a
Yeah,
power
that's
surge.
what it
Yeah.
could have been. Okay.
Anyways, we
We're
gotta
gonna
keep
have
it moving.
Avery. We're gonna have
Stay-
Avery on again. Let's go to this
Stay
next
safe.
game. I'm up by 16 here. There are 5 tiles left in the bag. I can show you the tile pool. I feel like Flagger is good.
Oh my
I feel
God.
like it's good.
Yeah, this
but,
is a crazy position. There are 2 blanks unseen.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
You really
So
you
I'm
really
in
gotta
trouble
block.
here.
You really just have to block. Try not to
And
empty
that's
the
somewhere
bag.
like in the last 2 columns. I never
Yeah,
know.
the E and the R. The E and the R, unless there's what you're probably trying to block. I don't know exactly what the letters are, but that's the first thing I would spot.
Right.
If you're ahead, how much you said? 16?
Ahead by 16. Yep. 5 tiles left in the bag.
You
Here's
might
what
lose
they
this.
look like. 3 A's, an F, H, 2 I's,
Oh, okay.
T,
So it's just a lot of
W, 2
scoring.
blanks.
Okay, it's a lot
Yeah,
of
so
scoring
I
stuff.
probably
Still,
have to try to outrun here, right?
yeah, you still have to. This is weird. This is a very tough position, honestly.
What can
you
I play
might-
to that E? Is there anything I can play to that E?
You could play
sticking the
Gargle.
F?
You could play Gargle, but that gives back a lot of possible scoring.
I think
I don't
there's
know, it would
only
be
the
very
one
close.
I. I think there's
If you-
only one I and
if you,
no
if you play
O's.
Gargle, it's going to be very close most of the time, is what I predict. You might actually consider that pool like it's going to be very hard to find a bingo, even if she has one. So you
Yes.
might just want to just play Fig under anti-sex or GIF next to logos, something like that. Keep your
Oh,
rack
Fig.
balanced and
Right.
score and win basically all the games that she doesn't have a bingo, something like
Okay.
that.
All right, I like it.
But both blanks. I don't know. I would actually. I don't know. I guess that's
Okay, we didn't pick up either blank. We got a W and a T. Okay. My next question is: besides Scrabble, name another geeky hobby that you have.
Watching chess online. I guess I watch a lot of
That's
chess
good.
games.
Not even play chess, but watch chess. That fits
Yeah.
the bill perfectly. Okay, here we go. We've got an opener here against your buddy Kevin Ing, our buddy Kevin Ing, but you know he stayed in your studio apartment, so I'll give him to you. I've got this J here. What am I looking at here? What's my
play-
best way? Oh,
Just play. Just. I think you see it. What do you see?
hold on.
It's pretty simple. This one, I think.
I don't know. Would you play like jet off the O and double up?
Not at all. Not at
hold
all.
on, hold on.
No.
Now I'm looking at the A.
Yeah. So first you might see G'd through the E, but that keeps
Right.
4 consonants.
Yeah.
You'd rather keep 3 consonants, much rather keep 3 than 4. So play jaded through the A and arrow.
Yes.
If Kevin doesn't have any scoring tiles when he plays arrow, so more likely than not he's not going to be
Oh,
able
right.
to respond to the E being open there, and you might be able to
Now
cash
I've
your
got
F.
the F. Yeah. Okay. Nice. I like it. Okay. Tell me what the most fun thing about watching chess is.
It's an amazing game. Lots of creativity. Lots when you realize why they made certain plays. When it's explained to you very, very properly why certain plays are made, it's just like, oh wow, that makes so much sense. And you get a similar feeling in Scrabble, but since chess is a more linear game, it's really great to see like the puzzles that the games create, basically.
There are quite a few comments actually. People like looking at this probably because they play on their phone as well. Ryan Fisher offering some commentary on things like Gargle emptying the bag, which makes sense. Roger made a reference to Snorlax making an appearance on my phone. I guess that's a Pokemon Go notification came up. And Preston Kilgore just very quickly made a move to get up to the top of the list. So let's take a look here at the game with Preston. Oh, look at that. So he comes in. All right, there's 6 tiles left in the bag. My rack is looking pretty rough with 3 eyes. He moves 13 points ahead, 6 left in the bag.
I seem to have lost you, Josh. I can't hear you anymore.
Oh, no. Hold on. I can still hear you.
But you can hear me.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm just gonna send.
It's been 56 minutes. We gotta finish this up.
Oh, we
I
do
don't
have
even
to finish
know.
it up.
Hold on
You're
a sec.
absolutely right.
I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect.
Okay. So. So while he tries to do that, we will bring this to an end with the last play there. Obviously, we had some connection issues there near the end. I want to thank everybody for watching. Let me get rid of this. Teach Josh to play Scrabble. I want to encourage you to sign up for NASC. I want to encourage you, if we get enough candidates in the AB election, to vote in that. If you want to appear on NASPA Tonight, get in touch. You can help teach Josh to play Scrabble, meaning me. And
I was having so much fun.
we'll do that last move. Really, what we should be doing here is moving this over to Twitch and then doing that for an hour. But we can't do that for an hour on NASPA Tonight because as you so rightly pointed out, we are way over time. So here, we'll bring this back up for a second and we'll finish this
2
one
minutes.
because I'm now definitely worried.
Whoa. How many letters left, you said?
6. So we're looking at, for vowels, 3 A's, 2 E's.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter much what the pool is here.
There's a
you shouldn't
blank.
be focused on that.
I should be
focused
trying
on what
to put up some points, right?
You gotta find a way to do something.
I'm looking
there's
over that AG.
Re-injured might happen. You're trying to play as many tiles as you can.
Right.
Wow. Oh, wow. This is bad. Okay. You might just play Jip and QI and up. That's the only thing I see right now.
Hold on. I don't know what we're looking at.
Jip, QI, and up.
Oh, right.
That's
still going to leave me.
play.
That's going to leave me with AIIT.
Yeah.
And there are a bunch of vowels left in there.
You got to hope for a good draw here. I don't see anything better than that right now, quickly.
Okay, so why is that good? Number one, it scores some points, but it also opens up that G line there.
No, it just scores.
Okay, nothing else?
That's it.
Okay,
It leaves you with a rack that might be saved. Maybe.
Right, let's see what rack comes back. Well, I got the blank.
Yes! Okay, you have some chances here. Okay.
Anti...
Don't worry about that. Keep going.
All right, very good. So, you want to do one more? All right, I'm going to ask you another question. Did you grow up with any pets, and what were their names?
No. No. Very, very different family. No pets whatsoever. Not even a goldfish.
So you not only... You're a vegetarian, but also no animals in the house as well. Do you think those two things were related?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Look at that. Okay.
Hey, if I could say something very controversial, I think
Please.
having pets is the new slavery.
Maybe we should have ended it. Okay. Here is. We'll do one more here.
You lose.
Yeah, I lose. I was
Play,
hoping.
just play Minx and Swift.
I think my last play was the
No.
P
gosh.
for lap, but yeah, I think I'm just done.
Oh, wait, no. Play, is there a D unseen? D...
Let's see what's unseen. Well, anything. The bag is empty,
No.
so
Oh,
she's
the
sitting
bag's
on TOLE, something like
okay.
that. It's
No.
done, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Just play Swift and Minx.
It's
Get it
done.
over swiftly.
It's done like this show. So I want to thank.
Look at Evan.
What? I didn't
We
see
caught
the
a glimpse-
message.
We caught a glimpse of Evan texting you saying, since we've been doing something for so long on Twitch, I think I should teach you a lesson. Bring me on next week. I think that's what
Okay,
he
nice,
said.
nice.
Okay.
Very good. I think teach Josh to play Scrabble could be
This is
something.
really good. This is really good.
Okay.
Bring me on again.
Okay. You're
Okay.
always invited, Josh. All right. So thank you. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks Josh for coming on. Thanks Avery for making a special appearance. We'll be bringing him back for sure. I want to encourage everybody to support your local directors. They're working hard for you. We'll be back next week as we head into the period right before Nationals. We'll know who the players are going to be. We'll be speculating on who the national champion can be. And we'll be running a very exciting series of shows that lead up to NASC. So thanks very much, Josh. We'll talk to you soon. And hopefully you all will come back next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.